In a quaint village nestled in the heart of a lush valley, there lived a cat named Whiskers, known far and wide for his helpful nature. Whiskers was no ordinary cat. He had a knack for solving problems that left even the wisest humans scratching their heads. One sunny morning, the village was buzzing with excitement as a group of tourists arrived, eager to explore the beautiful sights. The tourists, however, were baffled when they realized their map was written in an unfamiliar language. Whiskers, lounging on a warm rock, noticed their confusion and decided to offer his assistance. With a confident meow, he approached the tourists and began to guide them through the village. The tourists were amazed at how Whiskers seemed to know every nook and cranny of the place. As they followed the cat, they couldn't help but chuckle at his playful antics along the way. Whiskers led them to the village's most famous landmark, the singing fountain, which only sang at sunrise. The tourists were thrilled as the fountain began to sing, its melody echoing through the valley. Whiskers purred with pride, knowing he had made their day a little brighter. As they continued their tour, Whiskers led them to a hidden meadow filled with the most vibrant flowers they'd ever seen. The tourists were in awe of the beauty and thanked Whiskers for his guidance. Whiskers, ever humble, simply blinked slowly, his way of saying, "You're welcome." But the day was not over yet. Whiskers had more surprises in store. He led them to a small cottage where an elderly woman lived, known for her delicious homemade pies. The woman greeted them warmly and offered them a slice of her famous apple pie. As they enjoyed the pie, Whiskers hopped onto the table, gently nudging a piece of paper towards them. It was a map, but this time it was written in their language, showing the best places to visit in the village. The tourists were overjoyed and petted Whiskers in gratitude. Whiskers purred contentedly, happy to have helped once again. As the sun began to set, Whiskers led them to a hill overlooking the village. The view was breathtaking, with the village bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. The tourists took out their cameras, capturing the moment forever. Whiskers sat beside them, watching the sunset with a sense of satisfaction. But Whiskers knew that his job wasn't done yet. He had one more place to show them. As darkness fell, he led them through a winding path to the edge of the village. There, nestled among the trees, was a small clearing filled with glowing fireflies. The tourists gasped in wonder as the fireflies danced around them, creating a magical atmosphere. Whiskers watched with a twinkle in his eye, knowing he had given them a memory they would cherish forever. The tourists, now feeling a deep connection to the village, decided to stay a little longer. They asked the villagers if they could help out in any way as a token of gratitude. The villagers welcomed their offer, and soon the tourists were helping with various tasks. Whiskers watched from a distance, his heart swelling with pride as he saw the tourists become part of the community. The tourists planted flowers in the village square, adding to the beauty of the place. They helped paint the village school, giving it a fresh, vibrant look. They even assisted the elderly woman in making more pies, learning her secret recipe. Whiskers knew that his actions had brought people together, creating bonds that would last a lifetime. As the days went by, the tourists and villagers became like family. They laughed together, shared stories, and celebrated the little moments that made life special. Whiskers, ever the observer, felt a deep sense of fulfillment knowing he had made a difference. One day, the tourists decided to organize a small festival to celebrate their time in the village. They decorated the village square with colorful banners and lights. The villagers prepared delicious food, and everyone gathered in the square as the night fell. The festival was filled with laughter, music, and dancing. Whiskers, being the star of the show, was given a place of honor at the center of the square. The villagers and tourists alike took turns petting him and thanking him for his help. As the night went on, the tourists shared how Whiskers had guided them and made their visit unforgettable. The villagers smiled, knowing that their little cat had a heart as big as the valley. Whiskers listened to their stories with a contented purr, happy to have made such an impact. As the festival drew to a close, the tourists knew it was time to say goodbye. They packed their bags, but not without leaving a special gift for Whiskers. It was a small collar with a bell, a symbol of their appreciation for all he had done. Whiskers accepted the gift with a gentle meow, his eyes shining with gratitude. The tourists said their goodbyes, promising to return one day to visit their new friends. Whiskers watched them leave, his heart heavy but also filled with joy. He knew that he had made a lasting impact on their lives, just as they had on his. As he wandered back to the village, the bell on his collar jingled softly. The villagers greeted him warmly, knowing he had done something truly special. Whiskers settled down in his favorite spot, a cozy nook by the fire in the village inn. As he drifted off to sleep, he thought about the adventures he had shared with the tourists. He knew that his purpose in life was to help others, and he had fulfilled that purpose once again. The next morning, Whiskers awoke to the sound of birds chirping outside the inn. He stretched and yawned, ready for another day of helping those in need. As he stepped outside, he noticed a group of children playing in the village square. They saw Whiskers and ran over to him, eager to play with their favorite cat. Whiskers joined in their games, chasing after a ball of yarn with all the energy of a kitten. The children laughed and cheered, their faces glowing with happiness. Whiskers knew that even the smallest acts of kindness could bring joy to others. As the day went on, Whiskers continued his mission of helping others. He helped an elderly man carry his groceries home, earning a grateful pat on the head. He guided a lost traveler to the village inn, ensuring they found a place to rest. He even caught a mouse that had been causing trouble in the village bakery. The baker thanked him with a warm loaf of bread, which Whiskers shared with the other animals in the village. Whiskers knew that his actions, no matter how small, made the village a better place. As the sun set on another day, Whiskers returned to his cozy nook by the fire. He curled up, the bell on his collar jingling softly as he settled down to sleep. In his dreams, Whiskers imagined all the adventures he would have in the days to come. He knew that there were always new people to help, new problems to solve, and new memories to create. Whiskers was content, knowing that he had found his true calling in life. The villagers were grateful for their helpful cat, who had brought so much joy and love to their lives. They often told stories of Whiskers' adventures to anyone who would listen. Whiskers became a legend in the village, his tales of kindness and bravery passed down through generations. But to Whiskers, he was just a cat doing what he loved most, helping others. The village thrived under his watchful eye, and the bond between the villagers and Whiskers grew stronger every day. Whiskers knew that his journey was far from over. There were still many more people to help. As he drifted off to sleep that night, he felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would face them with the same spirit of kindness and helpfulness. Whiskers dreamed of far-off places, of new friends to make and new adventures to embark upon. But for now, he was content to rest, knowing that he had done his part to make the world a better place. The villagers and tourists alike would always remember the helpful cat who had touched their lives. Whiskers had shown them that even the smallest creature could make a big difference. His legacy would live on in the hearts of those he had helped, a reminder that kindness always prevails. And so, in the peaceful village nestled in the valley, Whiskers continued his mission, one kind act at a time. The world was a brighter place with Whiskers in it, and he knew that he was exactly where he was meant to be. As the stars twinkled above, Whiskers purred softly, content with the life he had chosen. The villagers whispered their good nights to the helpful cat, knowing he would always be there when they needed him. Whiskers, the hero of the village, closed his eyes and drifted into a peaceful sleep. The night was calm, and all was well in the village, thanks to their beloved Whiskers. And so, the story of Whiskers the helpful cat lived on, a tale of kindness, adventure, and the joy of helping others.